Hello. Welcome back to another live session after NFP traders. Back on track with another live streaming from Forex Trading Wizard Academy. Starting the day with some volatile pairs that we will be looking at, including Xauusd, Gbpjpy, dollar yen, euro dollar that currently trending. Beginning the day with a huge movement in the market, and in this instrument, currently I'm looking at gold on the lower time frame. We will be doing the full multi-time frame analysis, and then slowly we will be also jumping onto the other pairs as well. First of all, beginning with Xauusd. And at the same time, if you guys look at that, this is the first session of the day. Also coming up another one during the NY session. I'm going to look at one by one full multi-time frame analysis before we look for any trade setup in this market. So let's look at first of all to see what kind of trading opportunity you might have in this market, starting with Xauusd. Starting with first of all monthly, as this is the first week of the month, which is in fact pretty strongly bullish at the moment. And what we can see here in this market, this is the monthly impulsive move on the monthly, and we have seen that I'm first looking at, guys, bigger picture here. Bigger picture is key. This is a long-term bull market. If you look at from here, we can see that from this support level there was a sharp bounce back to the upside, and with this bounce we can see back-to-back 3 months dodgy formation on Xauusd. In a previous months has formed a narrow red candle, which is a narrow doji. Now, what we have seen that this month with the NFP, the market reacted to the data. Guys, you have seen that there was a data has come out very surprising with the NFP. There was almost half the non-farm employment change than the forecast. That has given a big blow on the XY, and as a result, we see that Xauusd is pumping back to the upside to the major direction of the trend. So from the bigger picture, we can see that this is a long-term bull market, and in that long-term bull market we can see the market is pushing back to the upside again. What we can expect here in this market, that we will be looking at the lower time frame price action to see overall direction in the market, to see potential entry. Now, before I start this analysis, I would like to see that the stream is going well. Thank you very much for joining. Hello, welcome. Can you say something in the live chat, guys, if you can hear me and see me, so that I know that stream is going well? Can you see me and hear me in this live stream? What are the levels? Yes, that's what we're looking at. And we'll be looking to see the potential trading opportunity in this market. Let's look at first of all monthly. We can see that it's a bull market, and in this bullish market from the monthly, the price is potentially heading back to the upside here to this monthly resistance line, or even breaking that high. Could be that the market is pushing back to the upside to create a new higher high. If we look at the weekly, here we can see that weekly closed with a bigger pin bar here. Now you can spot a bullish pin bar on the weekly on Xauusd, and with this bullish pin bar, what we can see the market, this is the monthly weekly support, where in the past there is a bullish pin bar. The price has crossed that low, and with this cross of this low, we can see there is another rejection back to the upside here. And with this rejection back to the upside on Xauusd, we can see this market is currently moving in the direction of the major trend. Now, this weekly pin bar that we can see is the primary discussion of this weekly time frame. Why? Because we can see the market after this weekly cross of this low form this stronger bullish impulsive move back to the upside here. And therefore, with this weekly pin bar formation on gold, the market may potentially bounce back to the upside here. Now to this week, we can see the market in fact has dropped to that support level, tested this trend line from the weekly, and potentially going back again to the major direction. And in that area, if we look at here, you can see this is a support level from the weekly, expecting the market to potentially bounce back again to the upside to create a new higher high in this market. Looking at the daily here, what you can see from the daily time frame, this is the daily price action where there is a daily bullish engulfer formation on the daily. And with this daily bullish engulfer, we can see the market today. In fact, as expected, we have seen that there is a pullback on the daily. Guys, we are dropping down to the lower time frame, from a higher time frame to the lower time frame, from top down analysis. This is the basis of all profitable trading opportunity. You need to look at that from the higher time frame to the lower time frame. We can see the market from this high to the low, the price has dropped back to that support, and then from this support we can see there is a rejection back to the upside. And with the rejection, what we can expect, the market, what I think, potentially continue to trend back to the upside. Now the market is currently on the daily resistance line. This is the daily resistance where the price may retest again to 3344, or we could see a complete break to the upside. We have seen that early the market has dropped to that lower time frame support on the daily and then got the rejection back above again. Now the question is this market again now going to create a new higher high or coming back to this daily support level? Is it coming back to this 3345 level or bouncing back to the upside again? This is what we will be looking at in this live session. Welcome back to this live session. Now there is a probability that the market to remain bullish, but as you can see, it has created a long wick at the bottom. In the first two sessions of the market open, the market was bearish. We have seen that there was a pullback to this daily low. Now where we will be looking for buy, because it's a bull market, I'm also only looking to buy this market. So that being said, looking at the 4 hour here, what you can see that so far, this is the 4 hour time frame. There is a break here that early we have seen with this 4 hour bearish candle formation. The market tested that low, and then you can see it got the rejection back above again. Now the question is the market coming to retest this daily low, or it's going back here to create a new higher high? For me, the best area now to look for is break of this daily low. How much probability that the market will drop again back below this daily low is the key. Let's look at here on the 15-minute chart that to look for what kind of trading opportunity you have. Now looking at the guys, you can see this is the 15 minutes support, where an important level of support here, and that 15 minutes support that you can see that from here, this is the previous daily high that you can see the market drop to that 15 minutes support, and then the market has bounced back here, pull back to the upside, and we can see the market again potentially coming back here to this support level. Now this is where I'm looking at the moment for the market to pull back or potentially break that low here from this range, can give a high probability trade setup. Looking at here, this is the support. So looking at the lower time frame support, okay, so this is the lower time frame support here, okay, and with this lower time frame support that we can see on gold, after break of this low, this is an important level of support, expecting this market to potentially drop back below here, even potentially penetrate below, and then to revert back again to the upside to create a new higher high in this market. So that being said, what we can expect here in this market for the price to drop back below potentially to this daily low, and that's where I'm looking for potential entry buy from this market. As it is a bull market, I'm only looking to buy. Let's see where is our next opportunity in this market. So let's look at that to see where we can find trading opportunity in this market. If you guys are enjoying this live session that I'm doing every day twice to trade the market, make sure you like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. So let's look at here to see where the market is heading in this instrument. And if you have any question, you can ask guys in the live chat, share your feedback. Let's look at, first of all, I'm posting a pool here, start a pool, looking at pool here, and in this pool that we can expect that the market to drop to this daily support. Do you think that the market will retest this daily support, or it's gonna be bounce or bullish from here? What's your view on that? Or even the market again getting bearish here? What's your view? I think the market may retest again to this daily support. That means short-term drop possible, but I'm not going to sell as it is a long-term bull market. Looking at the 5 minutes here to see potential move. Let me start a poll here. What's your view here? Do you think that gold is going to retest the daily support? So I've shared two opinion here. You can cast a vote to see what do you think. Gold is going to bounce off this level, or it's coming back to this support level. What's your opinion here in this market? And then once the market drop to this daily low, we can look for entry opportunity in this market. And we can see the market slowly breaking back below. As I mentioned earlier, it's a very strongly bull market. Will not be looking for any sell until we see a very aggressive move. Here is the trend line that you can see on the lower time frame. If you look at the 5 minutes chart here, this is the 5 minutes trend line here. And in that 5 minutes trend line, expecting the market to break that low and then to return back again to the upside here. I hope that you're enjoying the live session. Let's trade the market with the most effective way. Now, this is today's support and potential buy area. This is where we need to look at. Now you can see this is an important level of support, expecting the market to potentially trend back down here, breaking that low, and then we will be looking for entry in this market. As the market is coming down for a pullback from this daily resistance, we may see the market continue to drop here to this support level to find out where the market is potentially be heading back to the upside here. Now you can see this is a very important resistance where the price has created a daily high, and from this daily high there is a drop back to this support, and the market has bounced back to that high, and we may see the market again drop back to this daily low. This is the previous swing low here, and that's the level that a very high probability. Now, as I mentioned earlier, guys, this is very important that when we are opening position, when looking for an entry, we need to look for at the most important area. Let's look at the 4-hour level. Even we might find earlier entry if we see that sessions low. Now let's mark now the sessions low. This is the 4-hour low here. And in that 4-hour low, if we see the market is not breaking that far on the daily, instead from this sessions low, we can look for the potential entry here as well on gold. This is a support level that you can see, and in that support, this is bearish move, expecting that this market potentially to drop back further below here, and that's what we will be looking for, an entry in this market. Let's wait to see where the price is heading. Now this is the 15 minutes chart. There is a bounce from this level. Now this level as well, very important. If the market is coming back to retest this 15 minute support, which we might see quite importantly to see that around 41 pip drop back below, we also may find potential entry in this market. This is an order block on the 1 minute that we can see, expecting also the market to retest and then to have a rejection. So these are some of the levels that we may be able to find potential entry today in this market. Let's wait to see where the price is heading, and based on that we can look for trading opportunity in this market. I hope that guys you're enjoying. Make sure you give a thumbs up. Start a trading day with massive expectation for today, as after the NFP we can see the market started to move, and that move might be quite significant, as we can see that NFP has given a huge momentum here in this market. So that being said, with this NFP movement, the market has made its move back to the upside, expecting the price to potentially drop back further below and then to revert back again to the upside to create a new higher high in this market. That's what we're looking to see, where the market potentially be heading. Let's wait to see for this market. Now, where is our entry level? This is also another potential support level that we may be able to find an entry. This is also potential buy. Now we will not be looking to enter blindly. As I mentioned earlier, we want to see the market has broken that support and then gaining the rejection again to the major direction of the trend. This is an important support. This is also important support. Depending on how the market structure is being formed, we'll be able to see when to enter in this market. And in the meantime, guys, if you're enjoying the live session, make sure you give a thumbs up here and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every single day. Let's wait to see. The market is dropping back here to this support level, expecting it to come back here, potentially to retest and then to reject back again to the upside to create a new higher high in this market. Waiting for the market to break below and then to reject back again to the upside to create a new higher high in this market. Now past week was pretty exciting. You guys have seen that there was pretty massive move on DXY as well as on dollar pairs. This week also expecting the similar kind of movement in this market. As you can see from this level, there is a sharp drop here, and expecting the market to break below here to grab that liquidity and then to reject back again to the upside here to create a new higher high in this market. As you can see, the market is breaking back below here, and this is an important level of support, and that support is important. As the market is approaching that support, we might see the price to break below here and then to return back again to the upside. This is where we are looking for an entry. Possibly if we see the market has broken that support, penetrated back below, we will be looking for entry in this market. This is a very important support. And also there is another daily support here, this one that we will be looking as well. If this market directly breaking back below, penetrating all the way to the daily low, that's gonna be huge buy area. But before that, if the market is not breaking that far, if we are not being that much ambitious, this level also important to see how the market is reacting. If you look at the 4 hour again, reviewing that level, this is the 4 hour low, that is the sessions low here. And with this sessions low, expecting the market to penetrate back below and then to have a rejection back here to this 3359 level. So if the market is penetrating back below, we can look for potentially around 45 to 50 pip trade from this level to bounce back to the upside here to create a new higher high in this market. Thanks for joining this live session, traders. I hope that you're enjoying the live session that we are doing every day. And this is an exclusive live from Forex Trading Wizard Academy for the first day of the trading week, trading gold and waiting for an entry in this market. So once we see the market is showing that pattern, we will be entering into the trade here. This is the main goal here, is to enter in the right time, in the right area, but at the same time being fully risk managed. Is very important to see that we have managed the risk properly, which is very important that you guys do the proper risk management when we are opening any position in this live session or even without the live session here, which is absolutely important here. Here is the break below to this support, and that's where we can see the market is coming here. The market is penetrating back below here, and we see the price is coming back to this support, which is an important level of support, approaching that 4 hour support here. And with this 4 hour support, we can see the market is penetrating back below in that area, and that's where the price has just penetrated the intraday support, the 4 hour low, and now it's still approaching back below. Now the question is, will you be entering? Let's look at how the market is reacting to this 5 minute support. Is it getting the rejection back above, or it's preparing for further downside? 1 minute price action that you can see, it's a highly bearish. It's still probability for the market to drop back below here. I'm still waiting to see how the market is reacting on the lower time frame, because it's a currently falling market and it still can continue even directly back to this daily low here. That's what we're waiting to see, that the market to come back here to this daily low. waiting that the market to continue to drop to this support level here and then to break below to create a new lower low. Expecting the market to continue to drop. As you can see, 4-hour chart, the price is in fact getting that rejection. That rejection might break this daily low here that you can see. The price is penetrating back below this daily low here, and that's what we're waiting to see. This is the 5 minutes price action where we may see the market to continue to drop here. If you look at it, you can see the price has just penetrated back this support here. That's what we're waiting to see. The market is potentially coming here to that level. From the 1 minute chart, you can see the market is trying to push back again to the upside here. We might see break of this low and then to reject back again to the upside here in this market. We can see from the intraday, from the lower time frame, this is the 1 hour price action where a rejection. Now the question is the market is coming to test the 1 hour 20 EMA along with the daily low, or just getting that rejection back again? We will be looking to see the lower time frame price action for this possible drop here. And we can see that here is still maintaining the downtrend, and I think the market is still could continue to drop here to this support level. I hope that guys you're excited for today as well. After the NFP, the market is in fact moving, and that's what we need, a stronger volatility in the market. Gold is going to bounce off the first support, red box, trend line and daily support, then going back up. That's what potentially could do here. We see some short-term movement. Basically, to bounce off, we need the market to deepen again to the daily low. Does the smart money only buy gold, or they even sell? They do both. They do both. Right, so without seller, buying will not happen, right? So it's the way we need to understand the market. Keep in mind, guys, the market will never move if only all the buyers. It's gonna be like a rocket. The market will fly like a rocket because there's no seller. So to execute a buy, if you want to buy something, you need a seller to sell it to you, right? If you want to sell, then you need a buyer to buy. So when there is a buyer, there is also seller, because where they will buy from someone. So what, for example, what the broker doing? Broker doesn't buy or sell. It's a different scenario, but in general sense, when a smart comes to the smart money trading, they just create a market for the buyers and sellers. So in the one side, the buyers are buying. On the other side, you need a seller. That's why smart money struggle with liquidity, right? Because their order is way bigger than us. And that's why the smart money, you will see that they struggle with liquidity, because smart money only can enter when there is a liquidity. And that's why it is important that as a trader, you know that liquidity, how it works. Once you understand the liquidity, you can trade like a smart money. And that's what also in our previous Zoom session that I have conducted yesterday, if you guys joined that or watched the recorded session, we have discussed about how the smart money grab the liquidity in the market. And to buy, you need a seller, and that's where you need liquidity to move the market. So therefore, if the smart money buy, also smart money sell. I was coach currently in daily, and this current is charge card in daily, and this is the beginning of a big downfall. I wouldn't say still a downfall here. We might see the pullback because it's a really strongly bull market, right? So that's not I don't think that it's still any kind of downfall, because there is a saying that, you know, a trend is not built in one day, and also a trend is not going to end in one day. It takes time to end a trend, and there is a pattern in it. And when you look at a market that is trending, you need to know that how the trend changes. Trend doesn't change that instantly. If you see a sharply, that means that a strong trend, the market trading above 10 EMA with a bigger bull candle or bear candle in a bull market with a bigger bull candle, it's a strong trend. So when you see that a market in a strong trend, it's not gonna end easily. It will grab a lot of liquidity. That's why in a strong trend, whenever you see the market has broken from the structure, it's a very good area to trade. That means that in a bull market to buy or a bear market to sell. Good, welcome. I joined first time here and make profit also. Welcome back. And that's what we need here, you know, guys. You know, our aim here is to help the traders to give the best trading tool, to give the best strategy, to give best trade setup so that they can trade the market almost with an ease. Because as you know that trading is hard, but when you have the right strategy, right trading tool, it's fun. Okay, you can spend 30 minutes to an hour a day, even can earn a full-time earning. That's the beauty of becoming a trader. You don't have to quit anything. You can enjoy your job, because when you have something that will give you an additional income like a full-time, then full-time job becomes much more enjoying, because you are not relying on fully on one source of earning. That's the main goal of becoming a trader, and that's what we are helping hundreds of traders, giving a trading tool, giving indicators, strategies, so that they can learn and grow as a trader. And if you are someone that think that, you know, you're struggling in your job or not being able to be consistent as a trader, then this is where we are discussing every day. We have separate premium group as well as the separate group where we are trading with the most updated strategy that helps us to grow our trading account and also learn the best strategy, in my opinion, in our industry. So make sure you stay connected also by joining the Telegram. You can find link below this video, so that you have more update, more information about all the things that I'm posting. And also there's more often, and there's a post in the Telegram to join the premium, to become an upgraded member, where you can use my personal trading tool that I use every day to trade the market. 30 minutes shows always railway pattern. That's I have first I've heard that. Okay, so this is a there is a potentially a pattern here, but that's a still bull market, but the pattern showing a potential further rejection here back below in this market. Let's wait to see. Here is okay. Now we can see the market here in this area. This is a 5 minutes bear candle. Now the probability here in this lower time frame for this market to drop down here is higher. We'll be looking to see where the market is potentially be heading here in this instrument. Here is the bearish market. We can see the price is just to drop here, and this is an important level of support here. Let's see where the market is potentially be heading, and I think the price may fall back here to this support level. That's what we're waiting to see, how the market is potentially be heading here. I hope that guys are enjoying. Make sure also stay connected, share your opinion. What do you think that today gold is going to do? I'm joining for the first time today. Welcome, and I believe that for those who are joining first time, you will definitely enjoy here, as we trade a unique way to trade the market. That means we trade based on market structure, liquidity, and price action. While we are looking for an entry in this market, also I'm going to explain here what is liquidity. I got a lot of questions regarding the liquidity, to know what it takes to understand the liquidity in the market. So if you look at here, let's say this is a market, okay? So this is a resistance. Let's understand what is liquidity, because when you understand the liquidity, it becomes easier for you to trade the market. So if you look at here, you can see from here, let's say there is a bounce here in the past, guys. This is the simplest way to know the liquidity, and the market dropped to that support with a momentum. Another bounce here, and the market dropped to the support with another momentum, another bounce here. So what's happening here is that the market is approaching this key level multiple times, and whenever the market is approaching this key level, it's getting that bounce off that level. And with this bounce off from this key level on the lower time frame on Xauusd, we can see the price respecting that level. Now, how do traders make their trading decision? Is whenever the market bounce off a level, that shows that the market may respect that level, right? So if you look at here in that resistance line, the price is getting the rejection. So because whenever the market is approaching this level, whenever the market is approaching this resistance line, getting that rejection, which is giving a probability that later the traders might sell this market from this level, because the only information that we have here is the past here, how the market reacted to those levels in that area. And because the market has rejected from those levels with this bounce, anytime that you will be selling this market, the sellers will be interested to sell this market, right? Just to see that the market in fact has moved back to the upside, hit that stop loss, rejected back below to this profit target, right? So you can see the market, you'll see more often goes to the stop loss and reject back again to the profit target. Why this happen? Let's understand it. You'll see more often this kind of setup in the market occurs. The reason is, try to understand, guys, this is the key education that you will need to become a better trader. You see, this is a resistance line, right? Now in that resistance, whenever you are selling this market, okay, so when you are selling this market, when you sell this market, right, your stop loss SL is a buy order. So whenever you are selling this market, your stop loss or SL is a buy order in the market. So you are placing two order, not only sell, you are placing both sell and the buy, both of them. Now once you placing both sell and buy order in the market, you are in fact placing two order. That means that you are a seller, but your stop loss is a buy order. Now when you are selling, because in the past the market respected this level, along with us also smart money also selling this market, right? So everyone is seller. Now if we are selling and also smart money is selling, then who will be buyer in this market? Because to trade this market, you need both. You need buyers and also sellers. So if we are selling, smart money selling, then the market is not going anywhere because there is no enough buyer in this market. So this is what called the manipulation. The market in fact move up here, hit that stop loss. That means that those stop loss are buy order. Those buy orders, okay, those buy orders triggered, and that where from that level the market drop, because though we are some trader, some retail trader, a seller, in fact though they are seller, they turn into a buyer. When they turn into a buyer, smart money sell this market. So this becomes seller. Instead of we become a seller, we become a buyer. That's liquidity. That is called the liquidity graph. And you see that more often you will find a price action like that. Okay, you will find more often a price action like this. That is liquidity gap, right? So understanding liquidity gap will give you a huge advantage in the market. So that being said, let's look at here how we can find the liquidity zone. Now very important to look at, guys, keep in mind that when we are considering the liquidity gap, when we are understanding the liquidity gap, also we need to consider the direction of the trend. So that's why there are three important aspects that we need to consider when we are trading like a smart money. The first aspect is the market structure, which is the direction of the trend. So when we are looking at the trend, when we are looking at the market, we need to look for a market that has the trend. That means the trend is the market is in the right direction. Okay, so as the market, if we see that a market is trending, that means it has created a bearish market structure, right, which is a bear market. If we see a market has created a bearish market structure, we will be looking for bearish trend. That means in that market only we will be considering liquidity from the resistance. That means that even in a bearish trend, if we see that bull has got liquidity, we will not be taking any position. We need to look for a market that has trend and that has grab liquidity from the resistance. That means the liquidity gap needs to support the directional bias in the direction of the market structure. You can note that down. Liquidity gap needs to support the directional bias in the direction of the trend. So if we see that, for example, in this market scenario, if the market is grabbing liquidity from the resistance, if we see the market is grabbing liquidity from the resistance, it grab liquidity from the resistance, the bias could be in the downside. So if this market long-term trend, if we see that it's in a downtrend, if you see this is a downtrend, long-term trend is in the downtrend, we will be looking for selling opportunity in this market, because at the end of the day the major direction of the trend will be played out. And if you see that whenever you see a consolidation or any kind of sideways market, look for the market that where the trend has come from, right? It's very important that you always look at the backside, the left side, where the trend has come from, because the ultimate direction will be determined mostly by the where the trend was going. That means the flow. Okay, the market create an impulse and then it rest or move sideways, grab liquidity and then go for another one. So that being said, when you see that the market trend is down, grabbing liquidity from the top, that's where the entry, right? Guys, I have given you the best smart money system that smart money uses to trade the market. Make sure you like this stream, stay connected. There's a lot of information that still you don't know. Also, there's a lot to share with all of you guys. So don't miss out this live session that I'm doing every day, including the one that I'm doing during the NY session. Along with trade opening, also we focus on learning and growing as a trader. Here as we can see, the market is slowly trying to build that pressure back below, expecting the market to continue to drop here to this support level to create a new lower low in this market. Welcome, welcome. So this is a nearest key resistance line here. And that's a very important level, expecting the market to penetrate that and then to reject back again to the support level. All right, so you can see the market here is, after this drop, it's on a consolidation. Is still probability for another wave of drop, so I'm not going for any long position here, neither selling yet, because the market is in a major direction of the trend is bullish here. If we look at the 1 hour price action here, we can see that a red bear candle is being formed, and with this red bear candle on the 1 hour, that we can see the market is coming potentially back below here. There is a weak fill possible, but I think the price may come back here further below before it bounce back to the upside here. You can see here is the resistance line. The market is trying to break below here, expecting the market to potentially drop down to this long-term support level in this area. If you look at the here 15 minutes, so you can see that there is a 15 minutes candle close coming, and also that's a narrower doji. With this bear move, the market back to back two smaller candle could give the market to drop back below further here, or potentially bounce back to the upside here. That's what we're looking at in this market to see where the price potentially be heading in this market. Here, lower time frame, you can see the market is slowly trying to build up that bearish pressure in that area, expecting this market to continue to drop here to this support level. And as we can see that the 15 minutes candle closing potential as a doji, is the market having another bounce or breaking below to this daily low? Depending on how the market structure is forming, we can look for entry. As I mentioned earlier, this is a long-term bull market. Our aim here is to look for that bullish trade setup in this market. We can see here the 5 minutes closed with a narrower doji. We might see now a deeper liquidity gap. With the 1 hour close that we can see from the 1 hour close, a long wick candle. Now this 1 hour, you can see it's a long bearish candle with a long wick at the bottom, expecting this market to trend back here to this support level. Looking forward to see an entry in this session here. Okay, so from the 5-minute chart, you can see after cross of this high, there is a bearish candle being formed on the 5 minutes, which is a potentially bearish price action here, as we mentioned earlier. And I think we might find a short-term sell, though it is, as I mentioned earlier, it's a bull market. We can see that lower time frame potentially preparing a downfall here for a short-term period of time. So that short-term bearish move that you can see here in this market, looking at the 5 minutes, bearish engulfer formation, and expecting this market to trend back down here to this support level. Here is a slowly the market is trying to break that below here to this support level, expecting that this market to continue to trend back down here to this support level. But you can see the market is slowly trying to build up that downward pressure in that area, and we may see the market to trend back down here to this support level. Expecting further potential downside or bouncing back to the upside until we see the directional bias. We will be waiting here for a potential entry. Now I think today's price, you guys see that 4-hour chart, this is an important support, and the market is almost breaking this previous 4-hour sessions low. If it breaks the previous sessions low, that's where also you might find a potential entry in this market. In this area, it's slowly trying to build up that downward pressure here, potentially to trend down here to create a new lower low in this market. Here is the market is trying to push that price back below here to this support level, and expecting the market to trend again to this direction to create a new lower low. Here is the 15 minutes. Also, we can see back to back 15 minutes candlestick pattern in that area. This is also forming a doji. And here is the 5 minutes also, and there is a 5 minutes 20 EMA. You can see there is a crossover of 10 and 20 EMA. So that crossover might give this market to a downward momentum for short term. If we look at the 1 hour here, we can see that there is a potential for weak fill from the 1 hour chart here in this market. So this is the 1 hour support that I'm drawing, again another level, and we might see that this market to possibly break the low here to create a new lower low in this market. For us to find an entry here for short term, we could look for sell, but we will be only looking for sell when we see a very stronger liquidity grab from this resistance line for this potential drop down here. So you can see the market is trending here with an aggressive momentum. Here is slowly trying to build up the pressure here. Guys, you can see the market is slowly moving back to the upside to this liquidity zone. Here is the lower time frame price action where the market is heading to this 20 EMA. Here's the market is trying to pull back here. Guys, you can see 30 minutes also there is a bearish drop. There is a long wick rejection here on the 30 minutes, and I think the price may try to break that low back below here. Here is the 5 minutes doji formation. We might see this market to potentially break that high here, grab the liquidity, and then to drop back down here to this support level. Bearish move on the lower time frame might be showing back below. This is the 5 minutes price action. If the market tests this 20 EMA on the 5 minutes, we might be able to sell for short term here to this support level, 3351 level. We might see a short term drop here, what I think to the 1 hour 20 EMA. So this move here on the 5 minutes, let it break above. If we see the market is getting the rejection from the top with this 5 minutes candle, we can look for short-term selling opportunity in this market for this potential drop here to this support level. This is the previous swing high here on the lower time frame, and okay, here guys, we see there is a bearish rejection here. I'm going to open sell from this level, stop loss above all this high here with comparatively medium size stop loss. We can see there is a bullish move happening lower time frame, expecting it to potentially go up for another liquidity grab with 39 pip to 40 pip stop loss. I am opening a sell here on Xauusd to this support. This is a short-term sell for potential drop to this lower time frame support, expecting it to break below here in this market. So looking for sell here on Xauusd for this potential drop, and with a stop loss in this level. Yep, open a sell here on Xauusd. Place the sell here on Xauusd. You see there is a liquidity grab in the 5 minutes, and trying to catch a short-term peep here for at least to 40 peep. 5 minutes price action. The market has crossed that high as we discussed. The price has crossed that high, grab that liquidity, and potentially this market is trying to break that low here. And if the price is breaking back below here, with this another momentum, we can expect the market to fill that zone. And if you look at the 1 hour, you can see the market from the 1 hour chart here has formed a long wick candle. So we would like to see that this 5 minutes candle is closing as a long wick candle, and once the market closed as a long wick candle, we can expect this market to trend back down here to create a new lower low in this market. And if this 5 minutes candle closing as a liquidity grab, we can expect it to drop down, and with the drop expecting to break below here to give us a short-term first trade for the week, and to expecting to close with a profit. Let's wait to see how the market is evolving, which is important, that how the candle closing on the 5 minutes, also to see that it's showing that bearish pattern in this market. Wanting to see the price is breaking back below here to the support level, and we see there is a liquidity grab on the 5 minutes, which might lead the price back below. Now, the market in a very important crucial level, but I think from this zone, if this 5 minutes candle closing as a doji or a bear candle, we can expect potentially a downside momentum here, unless big boy is getting very hungry for another bounce back to the upside. I think there is a possibility for a potential drop in this market. So it's a potentially a short-term trending trade. If you look at the 30 minutes, we can see a bounce from this level. From the 15 minutes also, the market is trying to bounce here, waiting to see the market to trend back below. We have taken the trade with a short-term possibility to revert back in the direction of the local trend. So getting a rejection could be a possibility, the market to show its hand. Waiting for a potential rejection here to the support level in this market, especially the 5 minutes. Now from the 5 minutes, we can see a big drop here and with a pull back to this level, and that price action on the 5 minutes, the 1 minute that you can see, there's extension to the upside, and here's the market is showing possible for this is the 5 minutes again, and with this 5 minutes candle, we look for from 10 EMA. Might see a short-term bounce in that area, and 5 minutes candle close to it, a long bullish price action. Would like to see if that's liquidity grab and wants to break below back here to this support level. 1 hour chart that you can see, this is the 1 hour price action where if we look at the 1 hour here, that's where you can see the market has dropped to that, and we are looking to see if this is a liquidity grab again or a trend back to the upside. There might be, I'm looking at the 5 minutes again for a potential rejection back here. So there is a sharp drop followed by here we can see there is a room here, and how the market structure is evolving is important to see the lower time frame. And if we look at the 4 hour here, it's trying to push back again to the 4 hour resistance. Here's the 5 minutes. Looking to see that how the market is potentially revolving here. Now in this area, we look at the 15 minutes again and the 5 minutes. Still the market is in this mid area. 1 minute chart. It has just crossed this swing high here on the 1 minute. This is swing high. There is a penetration back above and have a wider stop loss in that area, though it's narrow in the bigger picture perspective. And if the market reject back again, we can look for further modification of the trade. This is the 1 minute chart. Still expecting it to come back down to this support level. We might see the price to retest again to this resistance line. The price is testing this order block. So on the order block, we see some kind of rejection back below. And this is what you can see that 5 minutes, if we look at, it's an order block. There is a previous support and resistance in this area. Looking at the 5 minutes again. It's penetrating that order block and we see a narrow doji formation on the 1 minute chart. Here is the 5 minute chart that you can see there is a 5 minutes potential rejection here in this market. So if we look at the 1 minute, we can see that there is a the price is trying to fill that wick here in this area, and with this wick fill, looking at the lower time frame is still on the trade. The market still can have a rejection here potentially back below to this support level, and that rejection, what we can expect the market to show a potential a directional bias here. So there is a bounce here on the lower time frame, and the market may go back again to the 4 hour resistance line here in this market. So this might be going for a range bound market in this area. If we look at the lower time frame, here we can see that the price after cross of this high 5 minutes price action still getting that rejection back below. So still on the trade, and to look at here how the, yeah, this is where, looking at the 5 minutes again, we can see there is a doji on the 5 minutes being formed, and we see that from this support level there is just a liquidity grab, and the market has got complete rejection back below in this market, which is a very stronger rejection on the lower time frame. And looking at here on the 1 minute again, we can see from this 10 EMA retest, the price is trying to push back above to create a potentially new higher high. And getting some rejection here on the 1 minute, and let's see that if this market is creating a pattern here for a possible rejection back below from this key level. Now here is the 5 minutes, which is forming a potential doji from this rejection level here on the lower time frame. And we see there is also a 30 minutes candle close coming, and that 30 minutes candle that you can see here with the 5 minutes bearish price action, 5 minutes closing with a long bearish rejection candle. And if you look at the 1 minute again, see this is a kind of reversal pattern formation. So if we see the high, we can see there is a long wick, and if it is forming the reversal, we might see the market to possibly to trend back again to this order block here. There's a 15 minutes candle close with the 5 minutes also doji formation on the lower time frame, also 30 minutes candle closed, and that is where what we could see in this area for the market to weak fill or to drop down here. The market structure is here in this area now bullish, so I think that the price may try to revert again in that direction. It is still can continue to drop here for liquidity grab, depending on how it might be closing. Are you guys with the trade yet? Can you share your update on the trade? It nearly reached there, but start to drop again. And can you give a feedback? Are you on the trade yet? How do you indicate major trend? We will be discussing. Any chance to long on Gbpjpy? We will be discussing on that. Here is a long wick candle is being formed. Okay, so this is the 1 minute. We can see it's getting rejection again back to the upside here. I think it might try to fill that long wick. Not being able to fill the long wick, we might see that it's coming back again below here. So if we look at the 1 minute chart, which is a doji, that doji that you can see from the 1 minute. Could be starting an uptrend or could be coming back below here. Here is the market is locally showing that bearish trend in this area, and if the market is not being able to break that high, we might see it again to come back below to this support level. Are you guys still on the trade in this one? Okay, it's still coming back down here in this area. So you can see this market with this movement. This is a complete break below here in this area, and as there is a rejection from the high, from this high, we might see now this market potentially to drop back to this support level. That's why you can see the market is trending back below here to this support level, and we see the market is moving back below to this long-term support, and where we are looking for the market to possibly come back to test this level. This is the 1 hour price action, and as there is a rejection from the high, we might see the market to trend back down again to this support level. We'll be waiting to see how the price is forming the structure here. Here is the market trending, and I'm still on it. Let's wait to see how the price is evolving. There is a 5 minutes crossover of 10 and 20 MA retest. Now the question is, the market coming to fill that long wick, or we're gonna see the price to test this level? I'm taking a short 1 minute break, coming back here to see how the price might be doing. So you can see here after this crossover, the market is trying to pull back again on the 1 minute chart, and here is waiting for a possible retest of this low. If we look at the 15 minutes, we can see the market again after test of this entry is bouncing back to the upside. I think the bias here potentially to be upside for short term at least. So any break below here, we will be looking to exit the trade below our entry. The market structure looks quite bullish, that we can see on the 15 minutes after break of this low. It has just got that rejection back above, and if you look at here, you can see that this is the move that we have seen here in that area. And for our chart, the price has just tested the session's low and then got that rejection back to the upside here in this market. So looking at the lower time frame, that you can see is the 15 minutes price action that has crossed the low and then grab that liquidity back to the upside. So the potential for this market to move back to the upside is higher. So any a breakdown here or a retest to this level, if the market is coming to retest this level, we will be out of this trade as soon as we see the market has entered below our entry. Still on the market is moving here in that area. So if you look at the lower time frame, you can see from here it created a series of higher low and then completely rejected back to the upside here. But the market didn't retest this neckline, previous resistance, which is turning support here in this market. Now you can see the 15 minutes, which is pretty sharp bearish price action here in that market. And with the 5 minutes doji, the market structure is moving in a sideways in this market. Here is, you can see the market is forming a market structure in that area, and that market structure that you can see potentially, as it has got a very sharp rejection back to the upside, we might see continuation. I'm moving my take profit at entry here. We are almost nearly to the end of the session. I'm moving the take profit at entry, and if the market drop back below here, we will be exiting the trade at break even, and we will be looking for re-entry here in this market as soon as we will find suitable entry opportunity in this market. So this is what we are doing here, guys. I hope that you are enjoying the live session. I'm coming on live again in the next session for trading the NY session. Any trade coming also, I'll be sharing in the group. Until that, stay well, stay happy. I'll see you again very soon trading live together. We'll be waiting for the market to show a new pattern so that we can re-enter again as soon as we will find that suitable entry opportunity. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you again very soon trading live together. Until that, stay well, stay happy.